Today on Go, we're putting the press, and impressive. Who doesn't love a good sandwich? And it's even better when the bread is baked fresh. Welcome to an all-new episode of Bombdale Gloves Go Edmonton. I'm your host, Dana Giesbrecht. And today we are here at Press Sandwich with these two guys. We have Scott and Grant, two of our sizzling 20 under 30 nominees. And we're going to show you just how easy it is, or maybe how difficult, to go from basketball to bread making and be successful when you're doing it. But up first, the evolution of electronic music with Tim Dancy. Excellent. Thanks for that, Tim. I am now joined by Scott Gordon, one of the three owners behind Pressed Sandwiches. Now, obviously, you're a big, tall guy, and we're going to start right at the root of this story. You all three of you played basketball.
We did, yeah. Gavin and I played together for 4 years at U of A, played for the Bears. And Gavin's younger brother, Grant, played as SFU for a couple of years, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, and you guys were traveling. You were in the States, in Phoenix. You hit up a sandwich shop you couldn't ever forget about, and then you came back here and tell us where the magic started.
We did, yeah. We were there for about a week playing some preseason games at the University of Phoenix, and we came across this place called Dilly's Deli. And we were looking for a healthy, quick meal, and we fell in love with this place. And we always joked about how bringing a place like this up to Canada would, it would do very well. It could compete with Subway, and there was really nobody else up here competing with Subway kind of in those terms. So it was just a joke at the time. And about 5 years later, Gavin and I were chartered accountants. We were working for accounting firms in the city, and we were talking about some opportunities that we could take advantage of to get out of the accounting world and start up our own thing. And the idea for Dilly's Deli came up, and we started to put together a business plan, and it just kind of made sense, so we took a leap.
That's really cool. I love it. From basketball to numbers to bacon fresh bread. And you guys bake fresh bread every day here. In the beginning, you learned how to do it yourself. We
did, yeah. We were all still working for our accounting firms, actually, and we went down, the three of us went down to Dilly's Deli for a week, and learned how to bake bread. We learned how to make sandwiches, pretty much learned all the ins and outs of how to run a restaurant, because we had never worked in a restaurant before. It was all brand new to us, so it was quite a shock. And they start at 6 o'clock down there, so we were up at 5 every morning. And it was funny, I came back, my firm I was on vacation. I took a week of vacation to go down there, and I didn't have a tan. I had told them I was going to Phoenix, and I didn't have a tan. and I got a lot of flack for that. Nobody knew that I was in the bakery the whole time learning how to make sandwiches and bake bread. Excellent.
And obviously you guys are doing so well because you now have 6 locations here in Edmonton. That must feel awesome.
It does, yeah. We've grown pretty quickly. We've got 6 as of today, and then later this month we'll be opening one up in West Edmonton Mall, and then shortly after that we'll be opening one up in Leduc.
There we go. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to meet Grant later on the show, who's also one of our sizzling 20 under 30 nominees. We're going to take a quick break on Go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we are Pressed Sandwiches, meeting 2 of our sizzling 20 under 30 nominees. This one being Scott Gordon. We also have Gavin Fedora coming up later in the show. And Scott, how long has it been since you baked fresh bread?
Oh, it's been too long. Probably a year and a half.
So a special treatment for us today on Go Edmonton. Scott is showing us how they do their thing here at Pressed Sandwiches. And every day you guys are baking fresh bread. I wish you could smell this. I wish you could get this aroma, because my favorite smell growing up was going to my grandma's, who always baked fresh bread. And I love that smell. You guys get to experience this every single day.
Every day. We've got our bakers coming in at 6 o'clock every morning, and they bake till about 10:30, 11 o'clock, depending on how busy the store is. And we get compliments coming out. The best store is our city center store, because the bakery smell actually trails through the mall, and we get people coming down from the other side of the mall saying, just kind of following their nose down to the store. Yeah, so
wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to whip this up, and I'm going to show you what's in the oven right now. I think you can guess what that is. But up next, Angelica Gretzky introduces us to a foster parent taking care of our furry friends. Thanks for that, Ange. And if you are interested in fostering some animals, you can go to scarscare.org for more information. All right, so here, look at this beautiful bread. What kind of bread do we have here, Scott?
This is rye bread.
Rye bread.
Yep.
And it smells so good. Not quite finished at the moment. You still got a little more magical touches to do in the oven?
A few more minutes in the oven, and then we'll let it sit for about half an hour, and then we'll throw it to the slicer, and it'll be ready to go on the line.
Ready to go for your fresh sandwiches. And how is our dough doing here?
Good. We're about 2 minutes away for it to come out of the mixer, and then we'll throw it on the table here and roll it out.
And that's the fun stuff, isn't it?
That's the fun part.
Okay. Well, we are going to take a quick break on Go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. From shooting hoops to kneading bread, Scott Gordon, a master with the dough. Would you say that?
I would definitely not say that, but I appreciate the compliment.
There we go. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we're at Press Sandwiches. Scott Gordon and one of his partners, Grant Fedora, nominated to be Sizzling 20 Under 30s for Edmontonians magazine. So we're here hanging out with the guys and learning how their business got started in the first place. Now, we've been making the bread, and Scott, with the magic fingers, is starting the process from the rolling part now. What exactly goes after this?
So after this, we'll throw, we put 4 loaves on each pan. These guys will be ready to go in the proofer. They'll spend about 20 minutes in the proofer, and then after that, they'll be in the oven, and they'll be there for about 20 minutes. They'll cool for about 30 minutes after that. We'll throw them in the slicer, and then they'll be ready to go on the line.
There we go. Very methodical. Okay. Well, we are going to be meeting Grant, whose brother is Gavin. I'm trying to keep everyone separate. Having an okay time with that? Not doing too bad, am I? I'm doing very well. Okay, there we go. So Grant is coming up, our second Sizzling 20 Under 30 nominee. You might have seen him in some of the B-roll from Scott's interview right after we hit the yoga studio with Jordan Greenlee. Excellent. Thanks for that, Jordan. Scott, did you ever go to any yoga classes when you were a full-on athlete?
Yeah, actually, when I played basketball, we had a little bit of yoga training in my last year. Unfortunately for myself, I was never very good.
Not that flexible?
No, not really. No, definitely not anymore.
Fair enough, because you're full on in the business world now.
That's right. Yeah, most of the time I'm spent either making sandwiches, helping out the rest of our team, and looking after our shops.
Well, there we go. And I love to see that you are in your pressed T-shirt today. Now, as mentioned at the top of the show, this is Grant Fedora, and he is another one of our team members from Pressed Sandwiches. You, another basketball player, I find that such a great start to the story. You guys all played basketball, and when they asked you to be part of this team, part of this business, what was your response?
I jumped at it, really. It was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, working with my brother, getting to move into the same city with him, getting to meet somebody like Scott and work with another really hardworking, really dedicated person. It seemed like a no-brainer, right? You're working with the right type of people. You know we're going to put in the hard work to get it done. Yeah, we didn't know everything at the start, but lots of hours and lots of training, and we were ready to rock.
And speaking of training, had you ever done any culinary training? Do you have any sort of cooking background at all?
Well, I had to work my way through university, so I did spend a year in a kitchen as a prep cook, but as far as actual training, not so much.
Okay,
no.
Wonderful. And how many sandwiches are you eating a day now that you're working here?
3. There's 3 meals, right?
3 meals a day. Sandwich for breakfast?
Usually, actually. Yeah, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once at night.
Well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I still you got getting all your carbs, your veggies, your meat, everything. It's a full, rounded, well-rounded meal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been 3 years. When I'm out of the stores, I'm not eating it as much, but right now I'm in the store full-time, and it's literally 3 times a day.
There we go. Like I said with Scott, you guys are doing super well. You now have 6 locations in Edmonton and Sherwood Park, and you're looking to branch elsewhere.
Yeah, right now we just opened up our 6th location right by the University of Alberta, across from the hospital there. And our next one, we're going in West Ed Mall and then down to Leduc, so we're getting a little bit further away. We're out in Sherwood Park as well. So hopefully we're down to the rest of Alberta pretty quick.
Very, very nice. And what's been the response from your customers, from people walking in and saying, hey, this is 3 young guys doing this awesome thing, and look at how much they're growing?
Yeah, I think everybody's a little surprised at how quickly we're moving, but that's a lot to do with my brother, Gavin. He's very aggressive in the business world and likes to keep us pushing forward. And literally just yesterday we got an email from one of our customers telling us, a quote, "I just ate the best sandwich ever." So
That
we
feels
still
so
get
good,
that.
right?
It's awesome. We still get that on a daily basis. We'll have somebody come back to us at the counter here and just express how much they enjoyed the experience. So it's really cool every time we hear it.
And we don't have Gavin on the show, but Gavin is the third pressed sandwich team member and looking so sharp. He came in wearing a suit jacket. He was on his phone. He was all business.
Gavin is he's the man in the business suit typically for us. Scott and I we spend a little bit more time in the stores right now in Gavin's business development. So he's got lots of meetings to go to, meeting with the bigwigs and schmoozing with the business people. So he's got to look sharp.
There we go. And how often do you tear off the pressed sandwich shirt and go play ball again?
Actually, my first game was last night.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm in a men's league still, trying to keep a little bit in shape. And
working off all those sandwiches.
yeah, definitely need to run a little bit more. But yeah, it's good. I still play every year, so I know the other two guys are a little bit busier than I am at that point. But yeah, still play every year.
There we go. Grant, high five. Great job. We're going to take a quick break on Go. We'll be right back. Scott Gordon and Grant Fedoric, our two sandwich chef extraordinaires. Welcome back to the show. And we're just joking that Scott doesn't really know his sandwiches too well, and Grant is the real pro when it comes to being behind the counter. So we've got them working together on which sandwich is this one, Scott?
This is the California Club. This is the most popular sandwich that we have.
There we go. Okay, so Grant, let's see if you can feed him to him. Well, yeah, give it to him. Let's see how this works. There, a big bite. Oh. Okay, excellent. Thanks so much for that, Scott. And once again, we are down here pressed sandwiches. Both of these guys, two of our sizzling 20 under 30 nominees. We've been having a blast baking fresh bread, and they are doing so well with 6 franchises here in the Edmonton area. All right, before we go and before I dive into a sandwich for myself so I can tell you really just how truly good they are, it's time to take a look at some Gretzky Memorabilia with Brad Walker. Thanks for that, Brad. And a team press to end the show. A big thank you to Scott and Grant for having us. And congratulations, guys, on all of your success. Tight quarters back here. We've had a blast. I've been your host, Giesbrecht. We'll see you next time. Time to eat some sandwich.